If you are currently going through physical therapy and you are doing all of these exercises and thinking, how in the world am I going to remember how to do all of these? You are in the right place. This video will show you how to do some of the most common physical therapy exercises for your lower back pain so you can keep your back healthy and pain-free. And by following all of the exercises in this video, you will likely never need to go back to the physical therapist for your lower back pain ever again. Make sure to save this video wherever you're watching from to allow yourself to come back to it whenever your lower back pain starts flaring up. Thanks for joining me today. Let's jump right in. Before we begin, I do want to give some guidance on pain. If any of these movements cause you any discomfort or pain, discontinue them and try another one. Once you build strength in those other movements, you can try to reintroduce the one that aggravated it, but take your time when easing back in. I'm going to be doing these exercises on the ground with the yoga mat, which is linked below. Otherwise, you can do all these on a bed. For the first exercise, we're going to do a lying side twist. This is a really good exercise to mobilize your spine and help to ease some of that pain in your lower back. You're going to start by having your feet about a couple feet away from your butt, maybe about a foot or a foot and a half, and then you're going to gently allow your knees to knock side to side, back and forth. When you first do this, there might be a little bit of pain and a little bit of aggravation, so I'd highly recommend trying to do this with a slightly less range of motion at first, and then as you get more comfortable with this, you can increase the range of motion and get a little bit deeper into the movement. On top of that, we can also add some marches. Marches are a really crucial exercise that are going to target our hip flexor muscles, which are usually very weak in individuals who are suffering from low back pain. So for this exercise, you're going to start with your feet in about the same position that we started out with for our side lying twist. And then instead, you're actually going to bring that knee up as high as you can and then slowly bring it back down. Notice I'm actually keeping my knees about the same angle throughout the entire movement. That's a crucial step when we are doing this exercise. Make sure you go nice and slow and controlled throughout the entire movement and try to keep it equal on both legs. On top of that, we can also do some bridging. Bridging is another great exercise that's going to strengthen actually the back of our glutes. So the muscles that we were not working in this last movement, we are going to be working in this one. The glute bridge, same position as the first two for your feet, and then you're going to squeeze your butt and bring your hips nice and high towards the sky, basically as high as you can, and then slowly bring them back down. Try to keep your core nice and tight through this movement and do multiple repetitions before going on to the bird dog. Now, the bird dog is an exercise that not a lot of people are familiar with, but really it's a great exercise that's going to strengthen your core. It's going to strengthen some of the postural muscles in your shoulder and also work on that glute that we just did in that bridging. So for this one, start on all fours, try to bring one hand straight out in front of you as far as you can, and then at the same time push one leg straight back as far as you can as well. Try your best to do it equally on both sides before moving on to some clamshells. Clamshells are going to target the side of your hip muscle or your hip abductors, which are usually very, very weak in individuals who are suffering or dealing with lower back pain. So we really need to try to get these muscles nice and strong to overall get some more stability through that spine. So have your knees and hips in a 90-90 position, and then all you're going to do is bring that knee up as high as you can, similarly to a clamshell, and then slowly back down. Very small movement, very effective. You'll notice this very quickly in those muscles when you do it. On top of that, I really like adding in a half plank. Now, you might be familiar with a full plank where you are going to be on your toes and then have basically your body in a complete straight line. We can do a similar movement that's not quite as aggravating or stressful on your lower back and core, but will still give you some good strengthening opportunities for your core in that range of motion. So have yourself on your knees, put your hands out, and try to keep your body nice and straight. On top of that, a classic physical therapy exercise for lower back pain is the cat and cow. This one you're going to start on all fours, once again, just like the exercise we did earlier with the bird dog, and then you are going to basically try to round your lower back and upper back as much as you can, and then extend your lower back and upper back as much as you can, going back and forth very gently through this motion. This actually feels pretty good on your upper back too, but it's a really good exercise to mobilize your spine, maybe even use as a warm-up before you move into some of those more intense exercises like our lying straight leg raise. So this is a similar exercise to the bridge that we did earlier, except it's going to be a little bit more difficult. So both legs are going to be straight out in this position. You're going to try to keep your knee straight the entire time while bringing your leg up as high as you can and then gently lowering it back down. This is going to strengthen those hip flexor muscles, which, as we addressed earlier, are usually incredibly weak in individuals who are dealing with some lower back pain. So if you go to the physical therapist, you will likely do this exercise, and of course that is exactly why I'm showing it to you, because it's a really good movement to strengthen your hip flexors. And once you finish with that, you can ease into a COBRA stretch. This one's kind of intense, so I would try the other exercises first and maybe do this as kind of a cool down, but it feels really good if you're dealing with any lower back pain. Have your legs straight out behind you and let your hips sag nice and low in position and kind of look up towards the sky, extending your neck. Once you finish that, you can start to add in some light deadlifts to your workout routine. Now, if you don't have any light dumbbells at your home, I'm going to link below my favorite ones that I'm using in the video. And you might be thinking, why in the world would I do an exercise like this? It looks like exactly the thing that caused me some pain. Well, once you get your back nice and strong, we want to reintroduce movements like this to get your back strong so the next time you do the movement, you don't end up in physical therapy. So key points for this one: bend your knees very slightly, push your butt back, let those weights ride down your body the entire time, squeeze your butt as you stand nice and tall to the top. You got this. Thanks so much for watching the video. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to our channel if you want to continue to improve your overall pain management in your lower back. Otherwise, I'm going to link a couple more videos down below that might help you with pain in the other parts of your body. Thanks.
Tell me you know